Alright, hey, so I've got this tricky task and I thought it would be easier if I thought someone was just there with me, holding my hand, but in lieu of that, I think a video. Yeah, so I got this sushi fuzz. It's a serial 757, so it's covered in a bit of grut, as most pedals do. Get stomped on, these things just harbour dust, and yeah, my pedal board used to look like that too. So the guy says one mode works, one mode doesn't in regards to this switch. There was like a hybrid and germanium switch. And I've done some looking around. The transistors are cool. It's just the switch. Like sometimes I can poke it and sort of jab it right and I'll get the signal come through. So I thought, oh cool, it'll be like a shorted out wire or something, but if you can see, I've put so much. There's Teflon shielding, liquid heat shrink, there's some hot glue over there. I've taken a look and I'm pretty sure it's not any shorted wires, which would have been sort of nice. These are miniature switches I got from JCar. Maybe they're not the best. I think it's the first one I've had die. I don't know, they don't feel weak and they don't feel strong. So I've got another one. I'll just chuck the same thing in. And all these pedals have 10-year warranties, so whatever it takes, I'm going to try and look after it. Yeah, so my idea is I probably want to try and save these transistors because then it's going to save the sound. I'm not going to change the trim pot. Even if I didn't, it's got a Texas Instrument 2M1305 and I think it was BC32740 on the silicon. And it's like a D3 transistor here, made in USA for Q2. So in one side you'll have one of these driving Q2. These gains, I don't know, that could be like somewhere from 80 to 130. And that could be something similar actually, 80 to even 160, but sort of 110. And I think these things here, the silicon side, they go up to like 370-ish or something, not too high for silicon. So I've got no idea how. I'm just going to try and like pull at it. Oh, it's not too bad. I've taken the knobs off because they're just going to scratch. This is wood, it should be okay, but I'll just rather it scratch the shafts. And this looks like something I'll probably make a mess of. Like, I can almost guarantee I'm not going to enjoy doing this. But I'm probably just going to do the same thing again. I'll slap it together, cover it in liquid heat shrink again. This looks like it was a modified board too. Got this long positive line. I'd say this is a board where the DC socket was meant to be up here, but I started doing some experimental versions of this shape. I'm not sure if that's the same as or similar to what the current ones do, but it was a pretty cool switch. I really like this pedal and I'm wondering, should I have gone back to doing what these used to be? I don't know. I really did enjoy this pedal. Which is good. Sometimes I see things from the past and I cringe. I'm like, what was I thinking? Now again, this isn't going to be pretty. My even desoldering this thing later, I don't know how I'm going to get it out without trashing the legs. I might not be able to keep the transistors. I'm pretty sure I can. But if something goes wrong, I'll take this switch out soon. I'm not really regarding too much the health of this switch. I know I'm abusing it right now. And so they are kind of a little flimsy. But I'm just holding it in there for now so that I'm not pulling on the leads, the brown wires going to it. I don't want to be wobbling these and make the integrity questionable. So the way this works, there's a common base wire, and that'll be connected to both the transistors at the same time. The collector and emitter are then swapped on the DP-DT. So this is the base wire here that's sort of floating out in the middle of nowhere. And I know that wasn't shorting to anything because that silicon side was working fine. The germanium actually worked fine sometimes when the switch was in the right spot. You know, that came off a lot better than I was hoping for. I don't know if you can see. Where's my camera here? That came out pretty well. I can see there's no shorts. I was hoping for a short because then at least that's an easy fix. No such luck. So I'm going to turn on my regular soldering iron. I'll turn on the desoldering iron now too. It takes a little while to warm up. I think it's 80 watt, but the 80 watts is also factored into the fan and all these other parts of it, so you see this one comes to temp 357 in a few seconds. This one, I don't know, might take half a minute or a minute. Okay, so again, I don't care about the switch, so I can pretty much just rip this out forcefully, maybe. Not the sort of thing I'm very proud to show off my skills in here, or lack thereof. I'm wondering if I can just take the legs out and transfer it all, as in keep the base ones all connected. Eesh. Whatever it is, it's not going to be pretty. It will be. Sorry, I'm just dreading this sort of thing. I like clean new production. But everything does have to be repairable because at some point these things do happen. Cool. Alright. I don't have a socket, so I'm using a shifter for this. Gently. Try not to scrape the powder coating. Not sure what's happened with this. Looks like the guy, like it's very tarnished. Like he's been polishing it or something. Because there's these little gaps. So I bet you by the time I take this switch out, same thing. It'll be like a... Hopefully this all comes in one piece. Nope. What's... Oh yeah, because I haven't done the bottom one. Alright, someone remember what connects to what, please. So the one on the left went to the bottom. Hey Corey, if you're still there. So the good news is I didn't mechanically wrap the leads around anything. So I might be able to just suck these out, take it all out in one piece, and keep this connecting the middle leads, the base is connecting. I've had my steady caffeine, not shaky at all. That was sarcasm. I'm pretty shaky and caffeinated. I'm just taking my time. I don't want to cook these bits. I'm a bit hit and miss with this tool. I really love it, but oh yeah, okay. So the germanium's out. The silicon, they're both still connected on each end. No, it's not cooperating. And you probably can't see. Nice, okay. One of them's out, so the other one I should just be able to get out with the iron. Yay, okay. I used to really hate building these things. People could, oh, so I used to do this switch, can you do this? I'm like, ah. And then you have to make a combination where somehow all these three devices will work. Like it will sound good germanium, germanium, or it will sound good silicon, germanium hybrid. But then the gains like jump such a large amount between silicon and germanium. You've got to make it sort of work, and then bias right for both of them. Or do you bias at one for the one you think you're going to use the most, or do you make one spitty so you got some contrast? And I don't know. All right, so there's that switch. It's had a bit of abuse now. It's a bit wonky. I'd measure it and show you that it's dead, but it's already like sus. Like pushing the leads might make it work anyway. Just giving it a jiggle. I don't know if you could open it up. See what's gone wrong. Wow, okay. So you can see those little rockers. Or maybe you can't actually. It does look like this has been unevenly worn down a bit. And there's all that goop in there to keep it going. It certainly looks like all the goop too has just been pushed up against the edges. It's not really where it started its life. But yeah, I don't know why things die. It's probably smacked on a pedal board a lot, and it was like that was an afterthought sort of mod switch. This is a hefty Taiwanese switch up here, short lever. It's secured with that little dress nut. That's not going to die anytime soon. And you can like push them down, you can stomp on them, and yeah. So, what do we want to keep? What do we want to... Just do a little tidy up. I'll see if I can mount that in the way the other one came out. I don't want to jinx this, but this has been so much less headache than I was expecting. Alright, I was going to hold that there with my hand. And I'm glad I didn't do mechanical wraps on these, so they are changeable, repairable. See, it's such, you probably can't see, but there's such a tiny gap, like a millimeter and a bit, between that middle base wire. That's why I flooded it with electrical, what do you call it? Liquid electrical tape? Liquid heat shrink? I don't know. I'm not in the biz. I overshot that one a bit. I think it did have to sort of sit up there. Cool. Let me just show you what this switch is doing. Just for fun, it'll be a good test to make sure it's all working. So that should be silicon. Ah, let's see what they read. These won't be accurate because I've just heated it up. 400, yeah, I said it'll be 370-ish, maybe, and no leakage, I'd hope. Again, I've been handling this, so already I know the reading's not so worthwhile. Germanium, 196, wow. Whoa. Whoa. Leakage current, 0.3 milliamp at 2.5 amp. Wow. For Q1, normally I wouldn't use anything like that. Like, especially Q1. But, it was sounding okay the other day. It's probably going to be noisy. Maybe it sounds good. But again, like I said, it's heated up, so that's not going to be a good test. Hopefully, if you come back to that test later, it might be way lower than that. But that's just on the edge of, like, suspiciously way... Not way, but the leakage is leaky. You can't say that's not leaky. Alright. I'm just taking the blobs off them, flattening them out. I don't know if I should do this in the air, maybe? Yeah, at least the bottom one's going to have to be. It's a tight squeeze. I know you probably can't see, like, but neither can I, so I'm gonna have to keep this wire, rather than coming in sideways, I'm gonna try and bring it up and down, just so there's less chance of it shorting to anything. I don't know how to get in there. Let's give it a shot. I'll just flood it. There we go. Yeah, actually that came out really well. That's fine. Let's see if I can do this one too. It's got a bit of a blob to it that's not coming out. I think originally it must have been like that too. So I'm just gonna flatten it into like a rectangle because it's all pre-tinned. It's still a tight fit. No, whoop, see, oh man. I just bent that terminal a bit. It is a little flimsy. These are mini switches. They're probably light duty jobs. I'm assuming, from memory, if I load all the hardware back on these, it sits just about right. So the nut they give you, the washer they give you, lift the board out a bit. Come on, come on, come on. Yep. I'd say too with these mini switches, don't over tighten the nuts. They get mechanically stressed too. I bet you too, if I had have adjusted that nut, I might have actually fixed the problem, but that's, you know, a dodgy fix. So I'm just going to do like the minimum to give it a new life and home there. Now I've made a little loop, oops, you probably can't see, but I've made a little loop there. And that would actually work. You could probably send that. I don't think anyone's ever going to bump this. They might, but for that reason, I'll do what I did before and just chuck some liquid if I've got some. I use it so rarely, like it's rolling the dice if it's dried up or the cap won't come off, or if for some reason I've twisted the crap out of the nozzle. Eek. Right. So I get some cheap pliers that I don't mind wrecking. Maybe I'll just cut the whole thing off. Again, I'd want some cheap cutters that I also don't mind wrecking as much. I'll try and cut around rather than in one shot, because if I cut in one shot it's going to squish it again. At this time I should add to my purchase list to buy more of this. Whoa, okay. Well, that's good, I've got some. And again, I've squished it. Okay. No, I do like to just test a bit of this on some scrap paper or something. Sometimes you get like a little clear. See all the cat hair in this office, oh my god. Lots of cats. Lots of cat hair. This stuff, oh man, does it smell good. Just have a huff, you know. If you're in the workshop, just tell them I said it's cool. Maybe not cool. Yeah, so I think I fixed that, that's good. Yeah, like I said, I use that stuff so infrequently, usually I just have to keep buying new ones anyway. Iron off, and that'll be fixed. I might give it a clean. I wasn't sure if I should tidy it up or not. I always do. But like when I get pedals and I know they're like really used, they don't care that much. Like why should I care that much? But at the same time, like I've pulled the knobs off. I'll get some alcohol too. What do I use for cleaning? Get some alcohol and some WD-40. This plate, I might not want to touch it too much with solvent, so I'll just put WD on that. But this LED, I don't want to chuck any oils down there because they'll never come out again. So I'm just using a chucks and my pointy pliers, running it down without scratching anything. And I'm not gonna get too crazy on this stuff. It was good to experience this pedal again. My returns are way less than 1%. And it's very rare that I get repairs. That's why I've got the 10-year warranty on them anyway. Because even if something went wrong, I'd want to see what's going wrong, you know, it's worth it for me. Just Go to light, brush out. I don't want to flood alcohol down that, but I'm trying to make pedals that don't need to be kept so clean now, because the player I was, my pedals all look like that. You know, you're stomping on them, you got a work boot, and it's just collecting whatever's on the floor, maybe playing in a factory or studio's not that clean. No, just me? Okay. Just me. He must have been doing something clean, or one of the owners. Don't know if this is the first owner, because I can see it's been buffed and buffed and buffed and buffed. I'm trying not to push into it too aggressively. Just getting in under the knobs because they're already off, so why wouldn't I? Like, if you're going to re-string your guitar, there's no point to not clean the fretboard up. I think I used a little too much, so t-shirt to the rescue. Whatever I use here, make sure it's something soft, because if you get something with some grit to it, or some solder, flux, clippings, whatever was on your desk, and rub it in, then you'll just rub a scratch across. These ones, I think, they're polyurethane spray on top of FR4 material. Probably more durable than most of my Suchis that went out. Not the new ones though, the new ones are tough, I like them. Alright, dude. Just do any finessing of the wires. I think I already did. That's gonna dry. Make sure there's nothing floating in there. I'm using my t-shirt now just to pick up any oil from the WD we got left behind. This is not a screwdriver for the job. So I like to get them all started a tiny bit so I know that they're finding their threads, and then even then I'm not going down all the way now, just so it's finding its seating evenly, and then I tighten it up. The knobs are also got some grut. This will be a quick video, just about to wrap it up. So I'm twisting all these anti-clockwise because there's no indexing sort of D shaft on this, it's round. Tightening up to it just grabs, and then it's found its old home anyway. These pots are a bit looser than brand new, they've had some use, I can feel. And again, it's found its old home where the grub screw used to index it. It'll have like a little indentation somewhere. If that'll look even, check it on both sides. You'll actually be able to get a more accurate job doing it this way than with a split shaft knob where they don't quite match. Or if you've got a D, I prefer that, but this way it's like having a fretless instrument. At least you know you can always get exactly the right spot if you put in the effort. And that is tidied up and repaired with that toggle switch changed. Thanks everyone. Thanks for everyone who jumped in, and have a good week.